friends, welcome back to the channel. So I posted a video exactly about 1 week ago where I mentioned that I recently took my NAPLEX exam. And since this channel is all about transparency and documenting my journey here in the United States, I would like to break it to all of you that I have failed my NAPLEX. Yes. Now, I'm not going to be a crybaby and brag about how hard I studied or how much hopes I had from this exam. Somewhere in my heart, I knew this would happen. And there are a couple of reasons I think were contributory to my failure in this exam. And I'm going to be explaining all those reasons in this video. So anybody who is in the same shoes as me or is giving NAPLEX for the very first time can learn from it. Also, there's going to be a bonus tip at the end of this video, which I have learned by giving pre-NAPLEX 2 times in a row now and NAPLEX for the first time this year. So don't forget to make it till the end of this video so you can know exactly what that is. So there are 3 things that I think played a major role in my failure in the NAPLEX exam. And number 1 being thinking that RX prep calculations were enough to prepare me for the exam. So I, like everybody else who is due to take their NAPLEX, they take the famous RX prep course and they do the videos and then do the practice test questions that the RX prep give you, and then they give their pre-NAPLEX and then they take their NAPLEX. But what I have learned by giving pre-NAPLEX 2 times and then NAPLEX this year, I mastered RX prep calculations fluently. Like if you threw a calculation at me from the RX prep test bank, I would even know the page number where the calculation is being explained as an example. That's how hard I learned the calculations from RX prep. So I knew by heart where the calculation was, how to do it, every single thing. But in the actual exam, in the NAPLEX exam, now the exam is different for everybody, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be learning the calculations from RX prep or RX prep is not sufficient enough to make you prepare for the exam. But the exam that I was given had a ton of calculations, and those calculations were either super easy, the stuff that I had learned from medical school back then, or the stuff that I've never ever seen in my life and probably would never ever see in my life. But it was super hard. And when I was being thrown, I mean, it's a computerized exam. I believe if you do one thing wrong, they keep throwing questions at you in the same context. But I had a feeling that I'm gonna fail this exam, and I had to juggle like 4 or 5 calculation questions because I had no clue how to solve them. I did everything in my power to help me solve that calculation, and I think on one of the questions, I think I even spent like 5 whole minutes trying to get that done, but I just couldn't get it done. Maybe it's my lack of knowledge, maybe I didn't study properly, but this is something that was contributory to my failure, because if I had done those calculations right, I would have saved myself a couple of marks that maybe would have gained me success in NAPLEX. So yes, so anybody who's watching this video who's going to take their NAPLEX for the first time, or maybe have failed their NAPLEX and is in the same shoes as me and is thinking to give NAPLEX for the second time or not, be very mindful of the calculations. If you are very fluent in RX prep calculations, try searching for other sources or try searching for past papers, or I don't know, do anything that's in your power to get your hold of the maths, because the calculations that were presented to me in NAPLEX were not at all similar to the ones that are presented in RX prep, if that makes sense. Secondly, I think I got confused on the best answer choices. So the exam is structured in a way they throw you certain questions where you have to give free responses, like calculations 1, and then they have multiple choice questions where all the choices are wrong, where 4 choices are wrong and the 5th one is right and you have to pick the 5th one. And then there are best answer choices questions. So I think I got confused in the clinical best answer choices questions, because there was a scenario. Now, everybody who's preparing for NAPLEX know that it's a clinical scenario-based exam. So they throw a scenario at you and then they ask you questions regarding it. So I think I got confused in the best answer choices questions. I mean, there were questions like, okay, so if a patient comes to your pharmacy and let's say he's having a seizure, what should you be doing? Now, the answer choices would be time out the seizure. Number 2 would be trying to stop his seizure. Number 3 would be give him a shot. Number 4 would be call 911. Or number 5 would be make him lay on the floor and make sure you don't try to stop his seizure, etc., etc. And then you have to choose multiple choices, and some of them are right, but some of them are wrong. And that's where you get confused in. So when you have to choose like multiple choices from a single question, that's when things get trickier. So I believe I did wrong on 2 or 3 of them maybe, and that is something I think was contributory to my failure, or maybe a question that I got wrong. And thirdly, not getting enough sleep a night before. So those who have been following me on this channel or know me through Instagram, which is MedNerdygram, know that I am a new mom. I have a son who's turning 1 now, and if a new mom is watching this video, she knows it's hard to sleep when your baby is that young. So yes, so the same thing happened to me. I couldn't get a full night's sleep, not even a full night. I couldn't even sleep for an hour, because when my baby finally slept, I had this panic and anxiety going on in my head that I have to wake up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning for my exam, and I don't know if I'm gonna do good, and should I just get up and start revising? I mean, my mind was racing. I was laying on the bed with a racing mind and just praying to God and just hoping that I pass this exam miraculously. And as an after effect to that, what happened was, this is a very long exam. It's a 250 question exam, and you have to keep sitting in the exam room for 6 hours straight. It's not a joke when you haven't had a full night's sleep and when your mind is racing like crazy, and you have to wake up 6 a.m. in the morning and then go give your exam 8 a.m. in the morning. Same thing happened to me. So I was completely fine when I started the exam, but by the time my screen showed me 150 questions, and after those 150 questions, or I would say after the first break, I was going nuts. My head was hurting. I was in desperate need of coffee, and I just wanted to get over that thing. I mean, I was just hoping to get over that thing as soon as possible, because I was so exhausted. In the middle of the exam, I literally had a feeling of just doing whatever comes to my mind in the first place and just getting done. I was even thinking to just get done with this exam for now and just plan on doing it again, because I was so exhausted and tired from not getting a good night's sleep and being so panicky and so much in anxiety about it, that I just didn't want to finish the exam in the first place. But that is a feeling that I had to juggle while giving the exam, and that is solely because I didn't sleep a night before, and it was crazy. So everybody who's watching this video is going to take NAPLEX for the first time or for the second time, I would like to tell all of you to get a full night's sleep, to be mindful of things that you're doing in the exam, and not panic about it. I know it's easier said than done to not panic about an exam that's so big and huge, but trust me, if you panic about it and if you have anxiety when you enter that room, which every student has, but you gotta have some power to control the anxiety, right? You will be so exhausted in the middle of the exam, you would just want to get done with it, like I was. So it's a very long exam. The 250 question exam is a 6-hour long exam, and it's hard to keep sitting there for 6 hours straight and keep using every single piece of information that you have learned throughout your life to pass that exam. So yes, these were the 3 points that I think played a major role in my failure. So anybody who's watching this video and has already taken NAPLEX or maybe have passed NAPLEX, please don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know what strategies they use, so maybe I can benefit from them. And if anybody who's watching this video has failed NAPLEX like me, don't forget to leave a comment down below so I can know who my gang is. And if this video provided you any value, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on all those bell notifications. And I'll see you guys again next time.